Right now it's currently December 31st of the year 2012. This video is about camping out in the snow. Not very many people like the cold, but if you're prepared and know how to survive in the snow, it's actually not that bad. As you can see right now, it's snowing right now, it's just starting. And right now we're at about 27 degrees. 27 degrees out here. And I'm going to give you some tips on how you basically want to stay safe in the snow so you don't freeze to death. Now, one of the first main problems that people have is sleeping on the ground. Okay? Soil. That's the first thing you do not want to do because the soil is the first thing that freezes. So you want to be above the ground. So what we've done here is we've hooked up a hammock. Now if you notice, this hammock is above the ground. It's about 4 feet above the ground. And on the ends here, I've made this waterproof so the water does not leak down the hammock restraints and make your hammock wet. So it's very important that the ends of the hammock are waterproofed and water resistant. Now that we're above the ground, we don't have to worry about the ground freezing us to death. Let's take a look underneath. Right here I have there's two tarps right here. These are heavy duty thick tarps. And I have 2 more tarps right here. So I've got a total of about 4 tarps. If I include this, it's 5. But this really isn't a tarp, it's more of a camouflage net. So the tarps basically keep the water out because it usually rains here every now and then. Let's take a look underneath the tarps. Now as you'll see here, I have a nice warm sleeping bag. But most of you obviously realize that most sleeping bags are pretty useless in the snow, unless you want to pay $1,000 for one. So what we've done is we've insulated the sleeping bag with the second layer inside. Take a look here. Now on the sleeping bag here I have 2 sleeping bags. I have the outer layer and I have a second sleeping bag on the inside of that. I'll give you a quick look at this. I'll pull it out so you can see. So this one is on the inside and this sleeping bag is on the outside. Now underneath the sleeping bags, let's take a look underneath. I've insulated with newspaper. It goes all the way up here to the hammock, and I always have a wool sweater under there to keep the cold out also. But you'll find that newspaper is one of the best insulators for cold ever. Now let's take a look underneath the hammock. Now underneath the hammock I have bunched up newspaper. Now this is newspaper that's bunched up into a circle, or into a sphere, circular shape. You need about between 80 and about 200 of these underneath the hammock itself. As you can see here, I put it underneath here, the second hammock. So what you really have here is you have 2 hammocks. You have the first hammock right here, and then you have the second hammock underneath right here, which is used to hold the newspaper. Okay. The newspaper is right under there. And so what you have is you have a double insulated environment here, and what we're aiming for is we want air between each layer. So we have air between the sleeping bags, we have air between the tarps, and then we have air between the 2 hammocks. And what you have is when you trap the layers of air, they become heated. So your body heat actually provides the warmth. So what you have right here is when you're in the hammock, your body heat is generating heat, and it becomes trapped by all these layers. It becomes trapped by these layers of newspaper right here. It becomes trapped by these newspapers right here. It becomes trapped by the double sleeping bags and so on and so on. Now this gets so warm at night, I'm actually sweating in the bag. So I usually shed clothes, and I don't really sleep with that many clothes on because I don't need to, so I'm very, very comfortable. So the best part of insulating everything is that it will keep you warm, and it will keep you dry, and you don't have to worry about getting totally chilled to the bone. But the most important part, though, is to remain above the ground, because if you're on the ground, you're going to freeze. It's that simple. Thank you all for watching. Have a great week, and happy 2013.